Alright, hello everybody, we are back with some more Hades 2 1.0 content. Vow of Rivals Bossing Guide Part 2 today. Cerberus and then Kronos. I'll timestamp them in the video down below for anyone who's looking for a specific boss that they need help with. If you want to see Part 1, we covered both Hecate and Sirens in their Rivals format. I will leave that down in the description below. I am covering these bosses on max attack speed when they are at their most lethal, the fastest, most overlapping patterns to help you all better understand how to play around these bosses. But that is about that. I will meet you over at Cerberus to start out. Without further ado, part 2 of our Vow of Rivals bossing guide. Okay, the Rivals Cerberus guide. Number one tip for this fight, get on his backside. Start the fight, dash through, step to Cerberus's backside. Safest spot you can be, it'll naturally avoid a lot of the damage patterns. He's going to try to constantly rotate to see and attack you. You're going to constantly try to rotate to take his backside. Next up, he does a fire spray, we get around that. And he turns for the paw slams, take his backside. If you're not able to do so, you can iframe through the pulse wave of the paw slams when he's about to slam his paws down. Then he has the ability to raise one paw, throw out that big hitbox and the nice fire projectile. You're going to want to dash through or away from that when he raises that paw, like so. He's now doing the fire circles. You want to know which one spawned first. The one that spawned first is going to erupt first. You're safe here. Relax. Don't panic. Wait for that first one to erupt. Dash into it. It's the safe zone. Just like so. Now, he does the triple Fire Fang projectile spit. He's going to do 3 sets of 3 projectiles. They flash when they're about to erupt. Once again, note the first set that were shot out. Once it explodes, that's your primary safe zone. Get into it. He does the paw slams there. You can dash through them. Dash through them again. Get on his back for the fire spits. You have a little bit of safe area right on top of Cerberus here. He does a back smack, you dash through it. Shout out to the credits. Didn't mean to do that. The fire swing once again. That is just another projectile you can A, take his back from, so you won't get hit, or B, dash through. Almost every pattern in Cerberus can be solved by taking his back, so you don't get hit by it, being ready and executing good iframe dash to get through it, and C, not panicking. Always noting what fire circle eruption or what projectile came out first, letting it erupt, and then dashing into that space, as that will be your primary safe zone. That's the goal of the Cerberus fight. Very difficult fight. Very fast paced. You need to have a high level of awareness and a solid level of execution. Don't feel bad if you're getting destroyed by rival Cerb. Lots of times I can hit list this boss. Other times I can get absolutely destroyed. Still, even knowing what's coming, it's a difficult fight, so don't worry. Another thing to mention is that triple Fire Fang projectile can actually explode specifically off Phrenos, so do be careful. If we can get lucky and he shoots Phrenos, you'll see the instant explosion. It's terrifying. We're going to run away from these fire circles and iframe through his pulse. You can either iframe or space all these pulses and all these back smacks. Look to take his back. Iframe through that little pulse, stand in your safe zone. Get to his back. That is the general goal. Since we haven't dealt enough damage, I believe he spawns some ads. Doesn't happen too much. It's just because I'm only really dashing at him. Scary thing he can do, though, with that call or that yell or that rally cry, he will spawn ads in phase 1. It is pretty darn rare. Another thing to mention, which I'll do now, is Cerberus's combo breaker. If you deal too much damage too quickly, you will trigger a boss's combo breaker. Cerberus's combo breaker is a counter mechanic. Once you trigger it, he'll raise his paws up and kind of fold them into himself. If he does that and you hit him, it triggers the counter and he'll shoot fireballs at you. The counter play to the counter is to simply not attack during that time, wait it out, and you'll be back to the fight. So we'll go ahead and do that now. There you see it. I attacked him during it because Gigaros Dash does actually proc it for some reason. Usually dot effects like Cast, Scorch, etc. don't, and it's a quite nice mechanic to play around as long as you don't attack it. But we did too much damage too quickly. He raised his paws, and then I procced Gigaros Dash off the counter, so he shot out the fireballs at us, which is very scary. I-frame through his pulse, stay his back, be careful of the Fire Fangs projectiles, I-frame through the pulse. I-frame through the swing, get into our safe zone. He does his fire spit with eruptions, that's a pretty terrifying one. If you do not have any sort of movement speed upgrade or projectile slow, think Frigid Rush, Arctic Gale, hard target from Hermes, Blinding Rush, Nitro Boost, or Chaos movement speed. That fire spit projectile will destroy you, especially in phase 2, so be very wary of it and make sure you're at his back when he does it. More eruptions, dash through that, stay in our safe zone, fire spit, rotate around, try to take his backside. Here he erupts Miasma and does a backswing. We can iframe through both of those there. Be careful of the lava pot, the fire spit, and the miasma. This is when phase 1 gets really difficult. You're not dealing enough damage, and you can once again flub execution-based moves, like I just did with the iframe on the slam. We know which fire circle is erupting first, we get into it. Triple fire fangs, we run away from it. Here we go. Get into our safe zone. Be wary of his other pattern, triple fire fangs. Rotate all around them like so, and we have ended phase 1. At the end of phase 1, he will shoot out miasma pools. He will also shoot down lava balls. They will erupt onto the ground and give lava AoE. On top of that, he has different sets of adds he can spawn. You have to clear the adds here. You don't actually have to, and Cerberus will spawn after time, but you need to. I'm telling you to. You do not want to have to deal with all the patterns in Cerberus phase 2 alongside some very terrifying adds. So focus them down. However, don't rush this part. You have plenty of time. The miasma is terrifying. If you get hit by that, the adds will shred you. So the first thing you want to do is try not to get hit by the fireballs, unlike me. Try not to get hit by the miasma. Wait for it to all float away and dissipate, and then deal with the adds before Cerberus respawns. You'll see if I leave the adds up here, Cerberus will eventually just respawn, which he's doing now. Okay, here we go with phase 2 of the rival Cerberus fight. He's always going to erupt from one of these random circles. I just like to stand here in the middle and wait for him to pop out. And then once again, the most important thing in phase 2, even with his new patterns, is to always focus on taking his back when you can. This first pattern he's shown is 4 paw slams, he does a dash attack, and then 4 paw slams. Don't take his back on this one, admittedly. I know I just told you to. Just space out and wait. There's no real opportunity for damage until the very end. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Dash. When he dashes, you want to dash lateral to him. Not towards him, not away from him. A nice lateral dash to not get hit by it. And then he goes 1, 2, 3. Here's our punish window coming up. Count the 4th. Let the slam come down, dash through it, punish. That's what's up. Once again, with those fire circles, your general goal is to be very aware of them and note which one exploded first, wait for it to erupt, and then dash through that. Me personally in phase 2, I'm very comfortable accepting a little bit of damage in this phase, mitigating risks. What I mean by that is you can either take a gigantic Cerb attack or you can step into the lava and take a little bit of damage. Now, if you have Lover's Barriers, you don't want the lava to eat them all up, so do be wary of that. But if you've lost them by now, taking 1 or 2 ticks of lava damage is much better than taking a gigantic Cerb claw to the head. So that is an option. And then you want to get close to him. So he does a dash at us, that's perfect. We get to his backside, he does a dash away from us, we wait for those to erupt, get in at him. And then he does the fire spray. This is the primary attack in phase 2 to why I tell you to take his back. If you are not on Cerberus's back for this fire spray, and you don't have a projectile slow like Frigid Rush, Arctic Gale, or Hermes Hard Target, or a movement speed buff from Chaos, Nitro Boost from Hermes, or Blinding Rush from Apollo, you are most likely getting hit by this attack. You can try to rush completely across the arena from Cerberus, get as far away as possible, and then space out between the projectiles, but it's difficult to do, and the main way to avoid it is by simply being at his back. Be wary of these fire circles, dash away or through the paws. Now he digs down, you wait for the last circle to pop up, that's where he's going to be. You have to get in at Cerb. He does the same triple fire fangs, wait for the first set to explode, get in through it. Denote which circles are erupting first, and then once again, dash through the ones that will erupt. It's very hard to stay on Cerberus's backside in phase 2. You've noticed he's forced me very far away from him. You have to be careful of the fire spray, and almost pretend like it's always coming out, because I was so far away there, and I preemptively started running around in a circle away from him that I was able to avoid it even without any of the things I mentioned earlier. Rare to do, but very nice to see. Let all the fire circles erupt. Pretend like he's going to fire spit at you just in case. 4 slams, a dash, you go lateral. 4 slams, you punish on the second set of the 4th. Big punish window right here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Stay at his backside for all this. You're getting in damage constantly here. I'm just not doing it so we can continue to tutorial the fight. You wait for him to erupt. You get in on him. You have to try to dash through that projectile. It's a lot slower than it seems. I actually dashed much too early, so do be wary of that. If he's raising his paw up in phase 2, forward on, he's going to do that huge flame scythe attack. He's dashing. He's dashing. Wait for the eruption. Step in on him. Just like so. This is how you're going to work phase 2. You can get away from these when need be. Don't do it too early. He can punish with an early fire spit. Lateral away on the dash. 2, 3, 4. Huge punish window again right here. Very nice to see. Get away from all of this. You are spacing from that. Let the dash happen. Get to his back on the fire spits. Stay in your safe zone. I-frame through his paw slams. Get to his back for the fire spit. See, this is what I mean. He did the fire spit, dash away fire spit. I don't have projectile slow. I didn't have movement speed to close the gap. I wasn't fast on the reactionary dash towards him. Therefore, he punished me with a little bit of damage. Now, I will admit, I really do believe there is some checkmates in the Serb fight in relation to that fire spit dash fire spit pattern. If you're getting hit by just that, it's okay. Main thing is to not get hit by anything else within this fight. He's doing fire fangs again. So we're just running around, or we're paying attention to the first set, letting them explode, and then stepping towards that. Those are the 2 solves for that pattern. Big fire circles. You want to get away from this. You can try to crisscross the fire spray like I just did, but I got hit by it 3 or 4 times because I didn't feel comfortable closing the gap on Serb, and I wasn't able to space far enough away. Fire fangs 1, 2, 3. Be wary, Phrenos can instantly erupt those. I think I mentioned that already, but it's just good to know. Get away from Serb, take his back. Ideally, you don't spend this much time in phase 2 and get this many patterns, but it's just good to tutorial. 1, 2, 3, 4, slam 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't count them that time, so I wasn't able to punish as well. And then I didn't I-frame through his paw slam, so I was hit by that and almost pushed into his fire circles. Another scary thing about Serb is there's some pretty big hit stun on a lot of his patterns. Didn't space out far enough between that, so we were hit. It's good to show errors too. Dash and then his fire spray. We're close enough, we're not going to get hit by it. Dash and then his fire spray. We're good there. Space away from the projectiles. Stay on him here. Very good. You have to dash right with him there, and even then I'm still getting hit. But it's close and it's only 10 damage. So 2, 3, 4, lateral. 1, 2, 3, 4, punish window. You're seeing it. You're seeing the vision. Wait for him to erupt. He's very far away. Get to him. And then the fire spit. He does a very long one, or he'll do a short one. A dash and a short one. Don't mind me standing in the fire circle there. Don't do that. Here we are. Don't need to get away from these too early. Don't panic when he does that. When he shows those fire circles around himself, he wants you to panic. He wants you to step far away, and then he wants to hit you with that fire spray. Instead, stay in them as long as you can. Fire spray, focus on that. Avoid it. Get out of the circles in time. Chase the dash. Get back onto him, just like I did there. A lot of Serb is execution heavy. It's very difficult. It requires a high level of awareness. You want to burst him down as fast as you can. You need to know what each pattern does. Even then when you know what the pattern does, it's very hard to space through, to execute the dashes, to always be ready. He has some very dangerous fire spits. I'm getting hit by all his paw slams now. Rush him down. You still can't. I really don't like that pattern, I have to say. It's the one Rivals pattern out of all the fights where it is quite frustrating to deal with when he does the fire spit dash fire spit. You can see me getting hit by it here and there. Fire fangs, 1, 2, 3, 4, dash 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it lateral. Get on the other side of him. 3, 4. And then we're doing big punish windows off of that. He's doing fire spit again, so we're punishing. He does the elongated one, so it's a gigantic punish window. and he does Fire Fangs. Wait for the first set to erupt, go to that safe area, get out of these circles, but not too early. He's dug. We chase him down. Here he is. He does a paw slam, and we finish our fight. That is going to cover our Rivals Cerberus guide. Let's head on down to Rivals Chronos. Okay, phase 1 of 3 for the Rivals Chronos fight. First thing I will say, primary goal in this fight at the beginning is to handle the ads, not Chronos himself. At the beginning of the fight, Chronos is scripted to dash at you, so you can walk up, deal some damage, dash through his dash, and then start focusing on the ads while dodging each of Chronos' patterns, which we will break down as they come out within phase 1. Chronos has a combo breaker just like every other boss. His, of course, is his teleport. He will throw out a time bubble around him, small time bubbles around that time bubble, and then teleport somewhere across the arena, so you have to go chase him down. And then on top of that, at each portion of his health in phase 1 at certain different times, he will spawn more ads. So once again, you want to focus on those ads. At about 30 or 40% of his HP, he also spawns one random mini boss across the entire game, which can be quite terrifying. And why we always look for Deep Descent, the Hades upgrade, because it deletes that mini boss phase. But you also need to focus that down when it spawns. So let's begin the fight. Walk up to Chronos. Hello, my friend. Get a little bit of damage in. I'm just going to throw out a simple special to show it off. I don't want to deal too much. So you have sprint up, deal some damage. He's going to dash at you, sprint through it. You're safe. He throws out his scythe to show us his very first pattern. You will see him draw back, being ready to throw his scythe. You want to dash in the direction of the scythe. It's going to make it a lot easier to dash through it. There is 2 ways to avoid the scythe. Running fully away from it, which I don't recommend because it's a lot harder to punish, hurt Chronos, hit ads, etc., etc., or noting the way it's coming at you and dashing through it. Getting used to that is going to help a lot. Now, we just want to space out. He does his scythe slam after that. He'll slam his scythe down in an AoE in front of him. He will draw it back, which actually has a hitbox. He will then leave one of his time trails after that, which will explode a second or 2 later, which has another hitbox. The solve for that attack is to always be to the side of him when he's doing that. Dash through the scythe, step to the side, or step laterally to Chronos for the scythe slam. Like I said, your primary goal is to clear the ads first. Don't worry about Chronos. Dodge his patterns, knock down his servants. He does his vacuum. What you want to do is just rotate around during this, hitting ads as you can. Dash through the scythe. It has a tough timing. Every now and then you'll miss it. Don't worry about that. Just keep practicing. For the vacuum, like I said, you rotate around. Or if he does it in a corner and you can't rotate around, you can step all the way back from it and dash through the projectile he shoots. I'll show that off now just in a second as we continue to try to handle all the ads. I have to say, phase 1 isn't too bad. In my opinion, the ads are the hardest part. Now, those swings, he can either do 3 swings, or a swing, a dash, and a swing, or 2 swings and a dash, potentially. All you want to do is really get away from those. You can dash through the first one and then run away, or you can just dash away and stay away. It's not really a great time to deal damage to Chronos, as he leaves a trail after each one covering him. You just want to step away from that pattern. Continue to try to clear his ads. Be wary of Chronos. Dash through, dash away, and dash away. He did catch us with that. Dash through the scythe. Continue to deal with the ads. Don't kill all the ads at once, because they do have an after-death effect that you have to dash through, so you have to be careful of that while avoiding all their patterns. Kill another one there, let the effect come out. Be careful of the double time bubbles. Dash through the scythe throw. It's okay to get frozen sometimes there too, because you know you're going to be safe at the very end of it. I think he's done one of each pattern now. We just run away from those. We have finally cleared the ads. He does his freeze. We dash through the scythe. We run away from the vacuum. He's kind of stuck up in the corner, so I wouldn't recommend trying to rotate around this, as he does create a projectile around him as well, so if you step too close, you will get hit. So the other solve is to run very far away and simply dash through the projectile he shoots, like so, if you don't want to be too close. Ah, yes, orbitals. When he uses orbitals, he does 2 sets in the Rivals fight. After he throws his set of orbitals out like so, he's going to walk towards you and dash. All you want to do is walk away, and when he's ready to dash, dash all the way through it, and continue to hold your sprint and run away from those after effect trails as well, and you're good to go from that pattern. He does his slashes, we just run away from those. Not a great time to deal damage, wait for them to go away. Once again, dash through, dash away. Not when you're looking to deal damage. You can, but it gets very scary with all the trails and the slashes. And then vacuum. He does it up in a corner again, run away, dash through the projectile. Slam, you're going to go lateral, and it's a big punish window. Scythe, you're going to go through, and it's a big punish window. Teleport, you're just going to run away from. Big punish window right here on the side. Orbitals, you can just walk away from. He will walk at you. Dash through. Easy peasy, just like that, hold the sprint. Dash through one of these, and try to get away. When he's doing slashes and dashes, the dash is the most threatening portion of that, so be extra wary of that dash. Banners you want to clear, just because they give everything barriers. And vacuum, if you have the spacing like this, it's easy to just walk away from. That pretty much covers it for all the patterns he can do, and all the problem solves you have for each one. Let's go ahead and phase him, and he'll spawn more ads. Proceed down to the bottom of the arena for this set of ads, and start clearing them out. And continue to be wary of his patterns. He's throwing a scythe, we dash through it. Look to clear out 1 or 2 ads at a time during this, so you don't get fooled up by all their death effects. Because if you overlap all of their circles at once, it can be quite dangerous. We can dash through this here. Go ahead, clear out some more ads, dodge the Chronos patterns. Take your time, don't panic, stay composed. You'll get through the fight eventually. The ads themselves kind of have this falling flop attack, which you have to be wary of, that's close range. And then their triple dagger projectile throw you saw me get hit by. So do be wary of that. If you notice them doing the dagger throws, you want to step just to the left or right of where they are throwing from, so you can space in between the daggers, or you can go very far away or try to get behind them so you're not going to get hit by the daggers. And then for their flop close range attack, you just want to space away from that as well. There's no added patterns in this portion of the fight. He's just going to do the very same things. It's just a simple immunity for Chronos and summoning phase to add to the difficulty of the fight. Orbitals we just walk away from. And then when he's ready to dash... Wow. He just did nothing. There's the dash. That's crazy. And he teleports away. Go ahead and give him a nice combo breaker. We did too much damage too fast. Triggered the combo breaker, which initiates a teleport. Slash, slash, slash. We're just taking our time, waiting for him to do a good pattern we can punish. Like this one. Combo breaker again. Do not get frozen. It's usually teleport into Scythe, but he can do slashes, dashes, and Scythe slams. Orbitals again, you just walk away from. They do dissipate over time. They do get hit by Phrenos. And then dash, you just dash through. Easy peasy. Be wary of the after effects. Scythe throw, Scythe slam, and vacuum. Very good punish window here. He does block quite a bit, but you can still get a lot of damage in. Scythe, and a big damage window. Stay lateral to that. Do be careful of the Scythe slam when you're up against the wall like I was, because you can get hit like so. We got the Bruiser mini-boss. Isn't actually a mini-boss in the game, but apparently it's in the code and it's unused, so it can spawn in the Chronos fight. Once again, during the mini-boss phase, focus it down. Probably don't get hit by it like I did. Dash through his orbitals. Will typically work out. We were a little bit too far away for our dash. Run away from the vacuum. React through it. Careful of his teleports and the bubbles. Dash through the Scythe once again. Stay lateral to his slam while you're punishing. Get away from his time freeze. Dash through the Scythe. You're starting to understand it now. That is pretty much Rivals Chronos Phase 1 in a nutshell. focus on the ads whenever they spawn. Kronos afterwards. Dash through the scythes. Lateral to the slams. Away from the vacuums if he's at a wall, otherwise rotate around. And then do not try to punish the teleports. Wait for him to come out. And no need to punish orbitals. Just back up, dash through them. No need to punish the slams. Okay, Rivals Kronos Phase 2 now. He is always going to start with a scripted triple insta-kill shot. On one of these tiles in the arena you are going to have to run to, it is a safe zone from an insta-kill attack. If you deal too much damage to him too fast, you can actually break the insta-kill. He'll step out of it, stop doing it, and try to throw a scythe at you, and then go back to them. But we're going to play this fight standard. So he goes for his insta-kill, we run to the safe zone. He does it again, we run to the safe zone. He has a time freeze around him, he has a time freeze around the middle of the arena. After these 3 insta-kills, he's going to step out. He has a dash, he has a scythe throw. This new arena pattern comes out that you have to dash through, otherwise it's going to hit you. So you have to dash through that. This pattern comes out. It is an insta-kill everywhere except for this circle safe zone we're in. With a rotating clock hand, you have to dash through it. Takes a lot of movement speed to try to run faster than it. Can't say I'd recommend that. Line up for a simple dash. The clock hand spawns in. It shows you where it starts, and it's going to rotate around clockwise, trying to hit you. Stay away from that. Be wary of Kronos. He has Scythe Slash and Dash, just like Phase 1. And we still have Clock Hand, which you can dash through, like so. And he's doing his slash dashes. Nothing new. It only ever rotates up to 12. Once it hits 12, resetting back at the beginning position, that Clock Hand is going to disappear. Time Bubble Freeze and Scythe Throw. Something new in Phase 2 that he can do is Time Slow. This is incredibly scary. You are now slowed down, and he is not, so be very wary of this. I don't recommend ever trying to DPS Kronos during this. Just focus on surviving and not getting hit. Something else he can now do in Phase 2, which you just saw there, is a bigger, longer, stronger Scythe Slash. It does reach much farther, has a different timing to dash through, so be scary of that, or be wary of that, sorry. On top of that, we have orbital spawns. He teleports to the middle of the arena, spawns orbitals, and he did a very rude pattern in vacuum during that, so it's still the same rotate around, don't get hit. I just didn't rotate fast enough. And on top of that, he was closing the arena down. Then he jumps back into the insta-kill pattern, get into the safe zone, set yourself up to dash through that hit. He can also spawn some crossing clock hands that will break after just a second and hit you as well, so be wary of that hazard. It's primarily the same patterns you saw in Phase 1, with a lot of specific arena hazards added to it now. I think that about does it for all of his beginning Phase 2 patterns alongside the arena stuff. It's just a matter of what overlaps with what while you're doing this fight. So it's slash, dash, and slash with a clock hand. And then it's slash, dash, and slash with nothing. And then just a straight dash, a scythe throw, a scythe slam you can still do, which you saw in Phase 1, a time slow. Now here, if he time slows and you have to dash through, your goal is to step laterally to where Kronos is. He does the dash at you while you're walking away, and then if I timed it a bit better, I would have dashed through the arena hazard as well. Now he's doing gigantic scythe, so you're going to want to wait for him to be about to throw it, and then dash through it, and you'll iframe. However, I'm glad he showed that off. He can do the gigantic scythe slash into the slam. So although I iframed through the slash, I got hit by the very fast instant slam, so you do not want to dash at him when he's doing that either. Dash away from these, dash through the insta-kill. It's kind of a down and back up to reset your position. So dash through, and then not right in front of Kronos so you don't get hit by the following slam. It's always big. Vacuum, orbitals, arena hazard, space out from the vacuum, dash through his dash, step away, goes for the scythe throw, punish, stay lateral to the slam, punish, step away from the time bubbles, through the slam, or through the throw, sorry. You can walk around there. If you get very lucky and he spawns that attack where it's right next to you but just behind, you almost don't have to move for it, which can be quite nice. Every single attack in Phase 2 has a bit of variance to it, and it can overlap with different patterns. So you just have to be aware of the potential possibilities. Dash through the time-slowed slash. Dash through the slash dash slash. We're good to go. That is going to be it for Phase 2, Part 1. When you deal enough damage, you will trigger Phase 2, Part 2, which is going to add some tempi to the arena and some extra patterns from Kronos. Get away from him during the vacuum due to the close hitbox. There's the slash dash slash. And we get into Phase 2, Part 2. He starts spawning tempi that heal him. This healing effect is incredibly strong. My recommendation is to generally go around the arena and start killing these tempi. Don't let him heal. You're just making the fight more difficult for yourself. Take the time to destroy the tempi. Be careful when you destroy each tempi. They do drop a time freeze bubble around them, which can get you hit if you get frozen by it. So be wary once you kill them to space away from where you've killed them. And in Phase 2, Part 2, that closing arena hazard you have to dash through has a second layer, or does have a second layer. So be wary, it becomes a double dash when you're doing so. Same insta-kill, a lot of tight spacing, a lot of tight dodging. And once you finally have all the healing tempi down, it's just you and Kronos left. It's the same fight with the same patterns we showed off in the first portion of the fight. The primary thing now is he'll do everything a little bit faster to accelerate the fight. So it's all the same patterns we've shown off. He has gained absolutely no new tools, but typically he's going to do them a bit faster one after the other, which means they can overlap more often than not. That is about it. So you can see more clock hands, more big sights, more slams. You're getting almost 3 overlapping patterns at once now. Dash slash dash. Then he'll do something like orbitals with a clock hand still coming out, with his gigantic scythe at you, stuff like this. Back to another insta-kill. It's just the same fight, but at a little bit faster tempo, which makes it that much more dangerous. Still plenty of punish windows. Don't really want to punish during this, or during this. You do want to punish after scythe slam, and after scythe throw. And you can punish after big scythe and then scythe slam. That's a pretty good punish window. Dash, of course, he's going to get away from you. Scythe slam's a huge punish window. Big scythe is a pretty good punish window. Of course, stay lateral to the slam there. But it's still such a great punish window. As you can see here, a lot of free time. Even during orbitals, you can punish. During vacuum, you're going to want to get away, of course. A lot of difficult patterns in this Kronos fight you want to be wary of, but just continue your dashes, continue to iframe through what you need, continue to look for the strong punish windows, take your time, don't panic, clear out the ads, practice each different proper dodge on the patterns, make things easier on yourself by spacing properly at all times and being wary of what he can do. Okay, we're now entering Phase 3 of Rivals Kronos. Starting off, this is scripted. I call it the cutscene move. He is going to teleport all around, be basically impossible to hit, and is going to be shooting out lasers at you denoted by the red marks across the ground. Apparently, these come out in order of the numbers on the tiles. However, I don't really pay attention to those. You can if you want, be my guest. It's a bit too much for me. All I like to do is start off by running over to the right and then circle around to the left as I make micro adjustments in my sprint to avoid the cutscene patterns. On top of that, from these platforms on the ground can spawn a stage hazard. It'll glow yellow, it'll pulse out in a circle, and you have to dash through it, so be wary of that during the cutscene attack, and then we'll work through each pattern as time goes on. So just like so, that's the pattern there where you want to be careful of the stage hazard, and then the cutscene finishes. He does a giant scythe slash like we saw back in Phase 2, and then he does his first unique pattern of Phase 3. He spawns what I call Kronos Clone, who has all the same patterns that Kronos does. There's now just 2 of them. Incredibly terrifying. Never try to damage Kronos in Phase 3 when the clone is out. Run away and wait for it to dissipate. It'll never be worth it. Phase 3 is all about Kronos' turn, your turn. Waiting for a strong punish window to deal some damage, and then going back to just staying alive, surviving, and dodging. Never get over aggressive in this phase. I'm sure this is where a lot of you are struggling, and a lot of you are getting shut down because you're trying to force it, you're trying to rush it, you're trying to DPS race. It's not gonna happen. Kronos will kill you 10 out of 10 times when you go in with that mentality. So Kronos is out, we just run away. We just continue to run away. We dodge through the stage hazard. If you get time slowed, you just run away. That's Giant Scythe we've already seen, and Giant Scythe we've already seen. This is just real Kronos. We're once again dodging. That is another unique pattern from Phase 3. He does dash slash dash slash. When he's doing that, you need to be ready to iframe through it. Whichever one makes sense. If he's on top of you during the dash, you can dash back the other way to get away from him. If he's not close enough for you to be hit by the dash, you need to be ready to iframe through the slash because he'll use the dash to catch up to you. Always be wary of the stage hazards that can spawn. It is that pulse out from one of the platforms and the clock hand that we saw back in Phase 2 that can spawn from one of the platforms, like it can spawn from the middle, will rotate around clockwise and strike you. There we saw another new unique pattern to Phase 3. His scythe throw from Phase 1 or Phase 2 has been upgraded to now be a triple scythe throw. Incredibly scary. There is 2 ways to dodge that. First, if you realize very early on that he's doing a scythe throw and you have plenty of movement speed, you can just run far enough away to completely escape the pattern. However, that is not consistent and you have to do it in a very fast manner and recognize he's doing it very quickly. The more consistent way is what I just did. There is 3 scythes, a close, medium, and far scythe, and they are thrown in relation to Kronos. If you space out from you to Kronos in relation to where the medium scythe is going to be, and you dash laterally, you will dash through that second scythe and not get hit by the first or third. You have to line up in relation to Kronos, so if he is here, as you can see where my cursor is on the screen, you line up with him straight as you can, you position for the medium scythe, and you dash laterally through it. That's all you have to do. Don't panic, do the lateral dash, stay there. You will not get hit by the close, nor the far scythe that way. It is his most difficult pattern to dodge, and you have to be incredibly aware of his position and your position. He has time freeze, which we've seen. He has dash slash, which I was just speaking about, with plenty of different ways to dodge through that. He's doing it again. That is actually his dash with 4 strikes behind him that erupt very quickly. You can either do what I just did and dash away from it, or if you're close enough, you can dash through it. But if you dash through it, try to do it on an angle because those time effects after it erupt incredibly quickly. Phase 3 Kronos is super difficult. It requires a high amount of execution. Probably the highest in Hades 2. Terrifying fight. And if you don't play perfectly, he will rack up damage on you very quickly. Another stage hazard you see here are all the different clock hands coming out. Be wary of that. And then time freeze again. Step away from. He has Scythe Slam. That's a great time to punish. You can see a lot of time to punish here. He's going to do his typical Scythe Slam, but it starts with a vacuum now. So he's going to track you, vacuum, pull you in, and then Scythe Slam. Let him vacuum you. As he's about to Scythe Slam, dash iframe through it, and then you'll do what I just did and have a gigantic punish window to smoke Kronos with a ton of damage. Dash, we just run away from all 4. I would have been safe from that. However, if you noticed, I actually hit the very bottom of the arena wall, so I wasn't able to continue sprinting and did get hit, but same mentality. And then he can do the cutscene move once again. Now, personally, I disagree with this move coming out a second time without a specific tell or audio cue or this or that. He kind of just snaps onto a platform, does it raw for the second time, and starts to hit you with it, and it did catch me off guard. but be aware that he can do that. And once again, just start running to the right, rotate around in a circle to the left, hold sprint the entire time, and make that micro adjustment as he targets you for each attack. And then just look for your turn versus Kronos' turn. The clock hand has just spawned up here. We're going to walk down, dash through all of these. I didn't space away in time. We don't have any movement speed, so it can be a bit more difficult. Kronos is out. We do not even try to attack now. We just run away. You run away until Kronos goes. You do not want to have to fight him. He can summon adds in phase 3. If they grab you, they will stun you. Very scary. When he spawns them, just like the rest of the fight, clear the adds as soon as possible, but only when it's safe. Do not tunnel vision them, and always be aware of Kronos in phase 3. Besides that, wait for your turn. That dash attack is very hard to avoid. This is a big punish window here on the Sight Slam. Once again, getting hit by that. I'm kind of dashing the wrong way. You need to denote which way is going to be the shorter side. Basically where he's dashing from. Dash upwards in a way instead of down in a way like I'm doing. But there's another huge punish window. Dash through that. Big punish window. Be wary of the stage hazards. Step around the bubbles. Kill the adds as soon as they're spawned. Dash through the vacuum. Etc, etc. Another big punish window is whenever he does that. Slam those down. The time freeze is a pretty great punish window too. You can dash through. Like I said earlier, on the dash slashes, you can run away from them. You can also dash through one of his dashes to separate. Big Scythe, this is a huge punish window here when you dash through that. Dash through this, and then just run away until he's done this pattern. That one I don't recommend trying to get damage off on. His vacuum to Sight Slam, huge punish window. His time freeze, huge punish window. His summon enemies animation, huge punish window. Other ones, you just want to space out, be safe, not get hit during. That's the triple Scythe. As you see, I was far enough away just to avoid it, which was nice. Kronos, not a punish window. We run. We run during Kronos, and you try to mitigate damage taken. All right, that's going to do it for today. Pretty much everything I know in relation to both the Rivals Cerberus and Rivals Kronos fight, respectively. I'm not much of a thinker when it comes to Hades 2. I just like to click buttons. So I find these guides incredibly difficult trying to translate what I know into words for you all, to hopefully help you all better understand and more consistently clear the Rivals boss fights. We'll be back next day with Polyphemus and Eris, and then subsequently Prometheus, Heracles, and Typhon in our final video. Let me know down in the comments below if there's any way you think I can improve my Rivals guides, any of my guides or any of my videos for that matter. I greatly appreciate the feedback. And if you enjoyed today's video, or it helped you out in any way, shape, or form, please do like the video. It helps me and the channel out a lot. And if you want to keep up with more of my Hades 2 content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks again for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Okay, bye. And a massive thank you to my members for supporting the channel. John Costello, Zuko's Honor, Horia Dragomir, Avocado Anna, Gayud, Meist Jr., Shag Daddy, Vetatoid, Rob Wallace, Katarina V, Seneca, Ticola, Hideki 504, Andy Fu, Saint Naive, But What About the Hostages, Nightcrawler, Paul, Shoshin, Nathan, Mininet, Andrew Reddick, Quib, Fish and a Boo Boo, Tomas, and Nick J38.